You are now listening to Banners and Banters with Eston.
My name is Anes Muturi and welcome to Whitewood's Farm. Whitewood's Farm is 11 kilometers from Oloitoktok town and 220 kilometers from Nairobi. Why Whitewood Farm? The name Whitewoods comes from the natural ash white trees that are indigenously found here. And the farm is 10 acres, but the larger Whitewoods Farm is 35 acres. Now, Whitewoods Farm, in Whitewood Farm, we've planted a wide variety of 130 fruit trees and herbs. And these trees have been planted using the Ellen White's method of planting. It takes, instead of 3 to 4 years, it takes 1 to 2 years for the fruit to grow. Now, the garden has a scenic view of Kilimanjaro mountain, which is the tallest freestanding mountain in Africa. You can also see the beautiful Kulu ranges on the far eastern side of the farm. I've been living here for the past 1 year fully, although I bought the farm in 2018. Now, there are 4 reasons for country living. Number 1, you're given character development. So in the countryside, it is way better. There are lesser temptations. You get busy, every minute counts. So there's less evil and there are less temptations compared to in the city. Then number 2 is to grow your own food. So when money failed, the people came to Joseph and asked him, give us bread, for why should we die if money failed? When you read Revelation chapter 13 from verse 15 to 17, it talks about a time is coming when you cannot buy or sell unless you accept the mark of the beast. So when this time comes, God's people have been admonished. We've been given this message 100 years ago to move to the countryside where we can grow our own food. For the future problem of buying and selling will be a serious one. And then number 3, country living is a healthy environment and it's full of fresh air. That is reason enough to live in the countryside. Reason number 4 is to escape God's judgments. Growing your own food is very important. You've heard of food grown on sewage, tomatoes with pesticides and all other kinds of foods. So for you, that's why there are so many cancer cases, because we have become greedy. We want things to grow overnight and to kill as many pests as possible. So that exposes us to cancer. Now, as you saw, the war in Ukraine, the Russian army was attacking cities. So they didn't go to the countryside really to attack. God is going to bring judgments on cities because there is a lot of wickedness on cities. Jesus in Matthew chapter 24 warned his disciples to get out of the city. And there is no single disciple of Christ who perished because they all left. Now, when the Roman Empire came and besieged Jerusalem, it was terrible. Everybody who was found in the city died. Everybody, without exception. There was no single person who survived who was in the city. And then reason number 5 is to be God's helping hand. Also, there are people who want to know about country living and learn from the people who are already doing country living. I want to testify that it's really been good being in the countryside. I get sick less often. That is something I really get surprised. A friend of mine told me about zeta potential. When you live near a mountain, there are some chemicals the mountain emits that makes you healthy. That way, you do not get sick as often as if you are in the city. Of course, it gives you financial freedom. I must agree it's cash intensive, but there's no paying rent. I stopped paying rent a year ago and it's been awesome. You can grow your own food nowadays. I drink my own teas, like I have rosemary and mint. I have lemongrass. Then you can have lemon leaves and moringa and so forth. It makes you very manly. When you're in the countryside, you have to do manual labor. So most people don't go to the gym in the cities, but in the countryside, you have to work. As long as you're here, you have to work. So anyway, country living is beautiful, and I want to encourage everybody who wants to obey God. Moving to the countryside is the right thing to do. God will provide for you. You may not have all the finances ready, but in Psalm 50 verse 10, he says that all the beasts of the forest are mine, and cattle on 1,000 hills. So everything belongs to God. So God will provide. Mwambie Mwokozi atakupigania.